Hi, welcome to the live stream. Susan for SLC Aquatics coming to you live from the Fishroom. How are you tonight? I'm doing fine. I'm looking forward to tonight's discussion. The thumbnail says snails, oh no, good or bad? And there is a poll at the top over here. If you will click on the card, it will ask you, are snails, or do you think snails are, and the first option is good, second option is bad, third option is undecided or indifferent. So take time to click on that little card so that we can take a vote tonight on snails in the aquarium hobby. We also have Daryl Deemer in the house. Hello, Daryl. Hello, Donald at Aquatic Express. We got the nerdy fish in the house. Hey, how you doing? Donald says, I'm doing all right. I caught a stomach virus, so I had to miss school today. How are you? Oh, I'm so sorry, Donald. No complaints except just a little tired. Today I had to take my son back for a doctor's follow-up with infectious disease, and he wasn't happy with what Joshua's foot looked like, and it does not look good. The color has changed purplish instead of red, and he still has a lot of edema, and he has a new sore on the heel. So he's ordered that wound care, come back out and do some more wound care for him, for his foot and everything. And then tomorrow morning he's happy because he gets to have that PICC line removed from his chest. He no longer has to take IV antibiotics right now, but the infectious disease doctor did order him to take by mouth antibiotics. So I pray that he will take them on time and get them in his system and take them, I think he said, for another 4 weeks. Let's see. We got Gala's Fish Tanks in the house. Hi. This is a newcomer. I'm going to check out your channel again. I know you're a newbie, and we welcome you into the stream and into the Fish Fam community. 177 subscribers, and yes, I am a subscriber, and we show love for love with the Fish Fam community. Hey Dan, how are you doing? Back and forth, but I'm here. Hey y'all, I guess there's a bunch of streams going on. I didn't make it for Bob's last night, Steamfied Aquatics, because I had to work late last night. It's been a lot going on, trying to pull different shifts, trying to take care of one family member. Rod's taking care of his brother. And of course, as soon as spring hits, all of his outside work picks up. So don't forget to click the like button and share the stream on all social media. Sometimes I get a little confused, so if I ever spam a Fish Fam, or if I ever spam a group on Facebook, I apologize if the rules have changed. I never do anything intentionally, and yes, I'm not able to actually participate on a regular basis in all the groups. So sometimes I will have to be trimming out, and this happens as we grow. We click like this group, like this group, like this group, become a part of this group, like this page, join this group, and after a while you have to trim back on what you're part of if you're not able to participate. And I hope no one ever gets their feelings hurt. I have no favorites, but there are a few that, in every person's life, there are some people that you connect with better. And it doesn't mean that there's favoritism. You just connect better with different people and different groups according to what your personal motives are, or motivations are, and your personal likes, and what is the word I'm looking for? I guess your character standards or whatever. Vanoski's in the house. Hello, Vanoski. Aquatic Express says, I have some pregnant ghost shrimp. They are due to give birth soon. Can't wait to see some new baby shrimplets. They are very, very hard to see. Very, very, very hard to see. And a lot of times the shrimplets get eaten, Donald, before you ever see them. I saw one that was like a 1/4 inch long on a breeder net one day, and I was going to try to capture it and put it in a tank by itself so I can add some salt to the water, because shrimplets do better in salt water, moderately salty water. And as soon as I went to try to catch him, he was gone. Someone ate him. So good luck with them. They're beautiful, they're fun, but they are ghost shrimp, and they're known to be feeder shrimp. So hang in there. If you aren't successful with them, maybe you can go to some other shrimp and that are hardier, that are not considered feeder shrimp. Everybody's saying hi. That's great. Everybody, Melvin's in the house. Legacy Aquatics. Hey, Melvin, how you doing? I also was asked by the Fish Keeping Jamaica to do a little 20-25 second video clip of my channel. At the end of his month, at the end of the month, he does stats on things, and so I am one of his guests this month in April, and I'm honored for him to ask me to do that. MSA Ness, how you doing? Oh, let's see. Maple Street Aquatics, Mrs. We've got PA Fish Preacher. Hey, Kevin, how are you doing? Hope the shoulder is healing. Still in my prayers. That's great. Tonight's subject, we're 4 minutes into, well, we're actually 12 minutes into the live stream. Tonight's subject, snails. And if you will click up on top, well, over here, there's a card, and it's a poll. And I want you to vote on it if you don't mind. You can do it while I'm live. It's up there. And we got JJLB in the house. How you doing, brother? Good to have you with us tonight. Love is love. Everybody show love. Another one of my new subscribers. Glad you came to be with us tonight. I have ram's horn snails. I've kept mystery snails before, but I did have problems this last batch. I don't know if my tank was still getting settled in, or if my water perimeters were not just right for them. But the mystery snails that I got the last 6 months did not make it in my tanks. So I don't know if I didn't have enough calcium, I didn't know if I had enough water hardness. I don't know. They just didn't make it in my batch. But I do have ram's horn snails. I have the brown body and I have the pink body. I've had bladder snails. Bladder snails, and I believe ram's horn snails are considered pest snails to some aquarists. And snails in general are considered pest in the aquarium. But so if you will take time to vote on the poll that's in the card at the top of the video screen, go ahead and cast your vote so that we can talk about it. Gayla says my vote is in. Thank you. Aquatic Express says, Susan, I'm going to add a new YouTube video sometime this week to show how many snails I have now. They're reproduced like crazy. Oh, wonderful. Donald, they will reproduce if food is available. And what else? Mostly if food is available. So if you want your snail, if they get too heavy for you, you want to cut back your feeding in the aquarium. And my hobby, or my trigger in the fish room, is I go through and I feed all of my tanks, okay? And then I try to guesstimate that, okay, they're going to eat this in 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, if they come right back up and keep looking for food, I'll go ahead and give them a little bit more. But if I see food on the plant leaves, on the substrate, I don't put any more food in the aquarium, because the fish will graze later, and the snails and any bottom feeders that you have. And Kevin says greetings and thank you, everybody. PA Fish Preacher has come back into the scene. He's had a job change, so he's able to get back into the Fish Fam community. So welcome, PA Fish Preacher, back into active status again with the Fish Fam community. Legacy Aquatics says, that's good, Vanessa. How is Maple Street? And tell him that I said hi. Yes, tell Brandon we said hi, dear. We're missing him. Legacy Aquatics says, my vote is in. PA Fish Preacher says, I just got some Malaysian trumpet snails. Is that it? Yep. How are you doing, Gayla? Legacy asked. JJLB says, do you have a saltwater tank? No, I don't have any saltwater tanks at this time. Maybe in the future I'm going to get a little nano saltwater tank. But I basically do fresh water, and that is on the About Me section on my channel. You're still welcome, and we have lots of saltwater friends that join us in the chat. So if you have any questions, JJLB, you can still ask your questions, and people will join in to help you. We've got Cichlids 23 in the house. Hey, Fish Fam. We got PEMG Hustle Woman in the house. Aquatics, Yolanda is in the chat room. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Love you. We're talking about snails tonight. And PA Fish Preacher said he just got some Malaysian trumpet snails. And I know that they like to bury in the salt substrate and keep the substrate turned over. I have ram's horns, bladder snails. I've had a couple pond snails that came in on some plants that someone blessed me with. I've had mystery snails before. I have never kept trumpet snails or let's see. Oh, I've had nerate snails before, and they are beautiful. I keep them with my bettas. Haven't gotten any right now, but I will be getting some soon. They are just absolutely beautiful creatures to watch. JJLB said, I thought about getting a nano saltwater tank too, and I want a clownfish and sea anemone. Yeah, talk really to some experienced saltwater people, because I've always loved the anemone too, but I found out that they can be pesky because they actually move around your tank, and when they start reproducing, they can actually take over your tank. And I would love to have a clownfish and a tang, and because we love that little Walt Disney movie, Finding Nemo. And my husband Rod loves Darla. I think that's her name. I speak well. Why are you following me? Why are you following me? Oh. Yeah, I love Walt Disney. I love Finding Nemo. Hope I don't get demonetized on that one. Cichlids 23 says, I have tons now. I don't even know what they are. LOL. One came with a plant that I bought 6 months ago, and they're small brown snails. Are they round and kind of keep looping and looping? If they are, that is a ram's horn snail, and if they have elongated body with a tip on the end, that's either a small pond snail or a bladder snail. Bladder snails don't get very big. They don't live long in my tanks. Sometimes the other snails eat them. I have a yo-yo loach who also are known for diminishing your snail population, but they'll only eat as many as you don't overfeed the tank. If you overfeed the tank, flakes and rapashi and any other like algae wafers and stuff like that, the yo-yo loach will slow down eating the snails. But I only have one yo-yo loach, so maybe I need to get another yo-yo loach. And if you want to get rid of them, they say if you start pulling some out of your tank, that doesn't really help with the population because they populate according to the food source. So if you cut back your feeding for a little while, they'll start dying off, and nature will take care of itself, and they'll still reproduce, but not as heavily. And Dan Slee is saying hi to folks. JJLB says, oh wow, I didn't know that. And then Daryl is saying hi. Everybody's still saying hi, which is fine. Cichlets23 said to Dan Slee, were they pond snails? I think you told me, but I'm old. PA Fish Preacher says, do the ram's horn keep the algae down? Yes, they can keep the algae down, but the best thing that keeps algae down is for your tank to cycle and to add more live plants to your aquarium, and maybe diminish your light that stays on. Try an hour for a week or two and see if it cuts down. I wanted to tell you all today that I was having an algae problem on the surface on the front of my 29 gallon, and the duckweed has overgrown on the surface, which I need to thin it out. That's another thing. And of course the lighting is dimmer, and I don't know if the bulbs are getting older or the duckweed is blocking the light that goes into the aquarium, because I have a 10,000 lumen light on this other aquarium. But this evening when I came in, I thought I was going to have to scrape the front of the glass before the stream, and there's hardly any algae on there. And matter of fact, I'll probably go right over to that aquarium so that y'all can see what I'm talking about. Even though we're talking about snails tonight, y'all can have a look at this other aquarium. This is the 29 gallon. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. And usually the front glass has algae on it. And yes, it's full of ram's horn snails, but I do have some that are dying in here. And I have a pond snail or two in here. But this duckweed up at the top has dimmed the light that's in the aquarium, and that also will help cut back on your algae, whoever was asking. I think Kevin was. We got Fish Keeping Jamaica in the house. Hello, my friend. Welcome, Raleigh. God bless you. Fish Keeping Jamaica says, algae's not bad if controlled, and you have fish species liking it. Haha. Yes, and snails. Dan Slee says, have you tried keeping rabbit snails yet, Susan? No, I have not. I need to study up on the rabbit snails a little bit. I don't know that much about them, even though they have come up in the conversations a lot lately. Snails love algae. Yes, Raleigh says. Melvin says, I'm doing great. I have death in my family. My late grandmother niece from New York passed away Wednesday morning, I think. Oh, Melvin, we're sorry for your losses. We had some losses in our friend's family, and also we have a couple of our family members with 3 and 4 stage cancer, lung cancer. We had, anyway, like I said, there's a lot going on everywhere, and my heart goes out to you, and I pray for the Lord to comfort you. Whoa, so clean and nice. Thank you. Let me switch back. Thank you very much. I I've had to thin out the Java moss. That crypt up front has tripled in size since I set this tank back up 6 months ago. The Anubias in the middle is a piece of the mother plant that's up in the 5-gallon. I guess this is an advantage of having aquariums. Haha. Yeah, guppies are relaxing to me, JJLB says. Susan, hi, enough, love, my sister. Raleigh. Cichlids, how are them biggins doing you bought, Dansley? Dansley says, feel free to let me know if you have any questions about the rabbit snails. Okay, Dan. How big do they get? Do they live in fresh water? Let me come back. Do they live in fresh water? Do they have to have sand substrate? Do they eat other snails? Do they eat your plants? Do they eat algae? So I'm saying, what benefits do rabbit snails and how big do they get? Yellow rabbits I got at the auction. Oh, cool. So they come in different colors. You're welcome, Melvin. Guys, 13 watching, only 5 thumbs up. Come on, Fish Keeping Jamaica says. Yes, please hit that like button if you like what you're seeing. I wanted to come in a variety of support tonight. I have Green Oasis Farms on. I have Team Green Alliance bandana. I have Pet Sonic's baseball cap on. So I'm just trying my best tonight to support the family. You know, up here's my logo. There's Pet Sonics, there's Fancy Tail Aquatics, there's Fish 2, and then there's the Fish Fam Mop plaque. And behind me is some Priscilla MK art. Over here some more of her art. And this right here is Matthew Moore Cichlid's daughter, her artwork. I've been trying to keep my hand creative. Yep. Yellow one's doing good. Have them in a planted vase. Fish Keeping Jamaica says, Infinity War Part 2. Have been having my head thinking aloud. Valley Fish, hey. And if there's anybody else I missed that came in, I see Michelle, Full Moon Aquatics came in. How are you feeling, sweetheart? Cichlid 2023 is saying hi to a couple of you guys. Dan Slee says, yes. Freshwater only. 2, they do best in small gravel, sand. Number 3, they don't eat other snails. Number 4, there are 50 plus species ranging from a 1/4 inch to 3.5 inches to 5? 5 inches for a snail? Good Lord, that's a fish for me. And most eat algae, biofilm, and veggies. Thank you so much, Dan Slee. There is our topic on snails tonight, and Dan Slee has helped answer questions about rabbit snails. And if you all will, click the card at the top and answer the poll about snails tonight. Whether they're pests, whether they're good or they're bad, or you're indifferent. I see the Team Green, haha. Oh, I think your hand needs better direction, but I understand. Yep, we all go backwards. Thumbs up always. Thank you, Yolanda. MSA Ness says, you got my like. Hold up. I'll get Maple on that like button also. Tell Brandon hi, and I love him. They can uproot plants moving around that aren't established and can well eat plants if they don't have rapaceae, veg, algae tabs, etc. Excuse me, I need a drink of water. I'm doing a lot of talking tonight. And that is a monster snail, Cichlid 23. Yeah, I believe so too. Michelle says at Full Moon Aquatics, doing pretty good. How are your new fishy foods working out? Believe me, the algae wafers are a winner. Haven't started the guppy flakes yet. They like, all of my fish like the micro and the mini pellets, even the fry. That's so small the fry can nibble on them. What else? Oh, the parasite flakes I'm giving to my half black Moscow guppies. I'm gonna have to scroll up on the let me see. Trying to get rid of that clicking keyboard that I have on this laptop, and I'm using my mouse tonight. Snails on a whole help to manage the biological waste in your aquarium. Thank you, Raleigh. Let's see. Dan says, yep. Okay, that's my doing well. Dan the man. Daryl is sharing my to support Susan's channel. Here's my Patreon. Yes, and on this computer I do not have my commercial loaded. And if y'all have not seen my commercial that I did, that's 2.5 minutes long. Excuse me. It's live on YouTube, but it's on my computer upstairs. And don't forget, Thursday night I have a special guest. Rob of DeFreeze Aquariums will be my special guest Thursday night, 6 p.m. Central. See you there. Riley says, come on guys, hit that thumbs up. Okay, small fish tubers. I do a listing on where you are at the end of the month each month. And if you think I do not, oh my goodness. That really jumped. And if you think I do not have you on the general list of 200. Wow, he's got a list of 200 channels. And of course, I will be one of his guests at the end of April. So look for his stats video that comes out at the end of this month. Just leave a message on my channel. You don't have to be a subscriber to my channel. How sweet. I would also show love for love concerning that. So y'all know what the Fish Fam does. My chat froze, guys. All right. For rabbit snails, they are live bearers and need male, female to reproduce. So slow reproduction compared to most snails. Thank you so much, Dan. Are they pricey in the habit to buy? I mean, in the hobby to buy? Just leave a message, okay? Cicla23 saying, hi, I'm too small for your list, but I already hit the like. Eerie. Irie. I don't know what that means. Y'all have to tell me what IRIE means in Raleigh's dialogue or dialect. Do you keep assassin snails? No, I do not keep assassin snails because I actually like snails. I'm one who, at first when I got them, like, oh, those old pesky snails just all over the glass. I can't see my fish. Then, as I found out that people wanted some of my snails, I went, what? Some people want snails? And then I started listening to Corey and different ones talking about the benefits of snails in your aquarium, how they help with the bioload, how they keep the cycle of life going. And yes, if you have a deceased animal in your tank, believe me, the snails will do the cleanup job for you. You won't even find the skeleton. You might find the skeleton for a little while. Aquamate's in the house. Hey, Aquamate. Welcome to the live stream. We're talking snails, and above my head here is a card. Click on that card and do your vote tonight so that I can see what the vote is. And I will report it in, well, everybody gets to see the tally as people vote. Oh, Aquamate's driving, so lurking. Did someone tell me what IRIE means? I know I'm behind in the chat now. The States or Europe? California. See? California, brother. Susan, what is the average temperature where you are at? The average temperature that we have right now is hard to average because it's fluctuating so much. We went from 82 degrees yesterday down to 51. Let me see if I can find something that will help us out. Today was 83 and the low was 59. Thursday it's going to 76, low of 61. So the temperatures are getting closer together. But next Monday we have a high of 87 and a low of 63. So does that help? I don't do math very well, so right now we're in our spring summer weather. And we almost didn't have spring, and then we had a freeze, and then the warm temperature started coming back again. And Full Moon says, Fish Keeping Jamaica, they are taking over one of my tanks. Got them to control trumpet snail population, and that's the assassin snails. The assassin snails are known to kill other what we call pest snails. And some people don't call ram's horn and bladder snails pest snails, but they are. Excuse me. Tupac City, IRIE means respect. Okay, thank you, Raleigh. We have snails, LOL. I love snails, not Nola Jane Rich. And if you would, above me right here, click on the card and vote tonight. Dan says they can be anywhere from $3 each up to $15 per snail. And they only come from Sulawesi, Indonesia. Thank you, Dan. And that is the rabbit snail, everybody, that just joined us. Let's see. I like snails, Susan, but keep assassins to regulate population of other types in my tanks to keep them from overloading my bio. Okay, thank you. And do assassin snails eat plants? Susan, what got you into the fish keeping hobby? My zodiac sign is Aquarius. So not Aquarius? Pisces. I've always loved nature, Raleigh. And I used to even bring home wild fish that I caught out of the creek. And of course they died because I didn't know anything about oxygen, cycling, water flow. I didn't understand any of that those fish needed to survive. Neither did I know the volume of water that they needed, so they died. I've rescued birds. But as a small child, anything that I could catch and bring home was pretty much captive to me until it died. 88 here today. Wow. Apple, ram's horns, pond, trumpet, mystery snails at Maple Street Aquatics. All right, Vanessa, thank you. Temperature down here has been pretty crazy lately. Yes, Donald, I agree. Dan Slee said nice. Not Nola Jane says, ooh, I think I got a rabbit snail today. Cool beans. How do you think you know? Can you describe it? And Dan Slee will help identify it. Raleigh says, that's cool in Jamaica. Average temp in Jamaica is 32 degrees Celsius. Okay, I don't know what Celsius is. So, for 32 to be 0, and you add, so are you already in the 90s and 100s? Yep. Let's see, Nola Jane, I have a lot of them. Great snails. Fish keeping, scorpions, because my sign is Scorpio. I know what Scorpio is. Let's see. Fish keeping Jamaica. Interesting, reflect, nice. Many persons paint the picture that they're perfect from the start, and I love your honesty. Thank you. Honesty is my policy, and I don't like storytellers that lie to you. And I work on not lying to other people. Sometimes I wrestle with that in order to be polite and to not have confrontation, but I'm working on my self-image and my self-character to always be real, always be honest. But I don't want you all to know when I'm having a bad day. I always want to come to you with a smile on my face and the glow of the Lord on my countenance. Daryl says, please hit that like button, everyone. Please. Let's, all right. What do y'all call it? A like raid. Boom, 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 boom. Go. Somebody said, hello, Susan, and then it scrolled. So J.H. Aquatics, Joseph's in the house. Hello, Joseph. We're talking about snails tonight. And actually, above my head is a card that's voting tonight on snails good or bad or indifferent. So we've been talking about ram's horn, bladder snails, pond snails, assassin snails, rabbit snails, MTS, Malaysian trumpet snails. Who else? What other kind of snails? Dan Slee gave us the spiel on the rabbit snail, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Joseph, how are you doing? You know I love you. Trapdoor snails. Trapdoor snails. Trapdoor snails. Well, aren't mystery snails, aren't they a type of trapdoor snail? I thought they were, but I could be wrong. Celsius is 88. Okay, Cichlid 23. Thank you so much. Melvin says, I'm doing good, Michelle. Last week we had a death in the family. Yes, Melvin, we're praying for you, young man, and your family. Sorry for your loss. Not Nola Jane said, let me see. They said it was a black pointed snail, but I'm pretty sure it is a rabbit snail. I will put up a video on it. Great, Nola. Hey, Chris, Multi-Tank Addiction's in the house. Hello, everyone. Hi, Fish Mom. Hey, Chris, I love you, love you, love you. We're talking about snails tonight. Good, the bad, the ugly, and above my head right here is a card, and I'm asking everyone to go up there and cast your vote tonight. Thank you very much, Dan. Hey, Chris, I'll keep a lookout. Should be fairly easy to confirm. Dan said, Hustle Woman said, formula 32 degrees times 9 divided by 5 plus 32 equals 89.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank you, Miss Scientist Yolanda PEMG Hustle Woman Aquatics. There you go, guys. I love it. I love it. Oh. Fish Keeping Jamaica says, I am midterms, so I'm able to chat a bit. When at work, it's a bit difficult to catch your stream. I do appreciate it. I know the hours are different, and I really do, Raleigh. Thank you so much for catching this live stream. It's an honor to have you here tonight. Everybody welcome Raleigh from Jamaica, Fish Keeping Jamaica, love for love. And also we want to welcome PA Fish Preacher back into the active status of his channel. He has had a job change. He's been out for a year or so, and we want to welcome him back tonight. Oh, Trapdoor Snails, Susan. What, Dan? Did I miss your comment about them? Stomach bug, no good for doing streams. Oh, get well, Chris. You know you got my prayers. In Jesus' name. Hustle, cool, maths, my greatest strength, LOL. Dan Slee said, mystery snails, Pomacea diffusa, a type of apple snail. See, I forgot about the apple snail. they get big. And what we call trapdoor snails are called mystery snails in other countries, but are completely different. Okay, I know we can have mistake in the common names. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. My severum is actually eating off the bottom of the substrate right now, and I have a wisteria plant floating around that I did not have floating around. And I do know that severums can eat plants. I've been cutting back on their diet. They've had a couple days of fasting in the fish room. I'm getting ready to do some good water changes, and the 55 I'm going to rescape it a little bit. But anyway, back to the stomach bug, back to the apple snail, and how we can confuse them with common names sometimes. Daryl is sharing my Teespring link. Thank you, Daryl. Dansley said you will usually see them called Chinese, Japanese trapdoor snails in the States, and they are mostly used in outdoor ponds. Okay. I've got, that 125 out there. I could probably, believe it or not, my goldfish wintered very well. Matter of fact, they grew the whole time. Even when they weren't eating, they were growing. I guess they were eating the mulm and Paris, organic stuff in the water. My ram's horn snails that are in that pond wintered, even down to 19 degrees. Okay? 19 degrees. And I was surprised that they didn't reproduce, but they survived. The adults survived, and now they're starting to lay eggs everywhere. Full Moon Aquatics said, sorry for your lost legacy. I'm sorry. I lost track of chat with Susan, Michelle says, trying to let her catch up. Thank you. Did I catch up? Am I at the bottom? All right, over to Logitech Cam 29 gallon. Here is my 29 gallon, and I was talking tonight. We were asking, do snails actually help with algae? Yes, they do. But I have no algae on the glass here due to the fact that the duckweed has overpopulated, which meant I'm overfeeding the tank because the nitrates are feeding the duckweed, and the duckweed is eating the nourishments that the algae would use, and the 10,000 lumen light would be putting off, feeding the algae to grow. So with the duckweed increasing on the surface, decreasing light lumination, and then also eating the nutrients out of the water column that the algae uses to feed on, those two things has actually made my algae disappear. Good job, Susan. Thank you, Michelle. I know I skipped something, so y'all got to help me out. If I missed any questions, if I missed any hellos, any visitors coming in that I did not say hi to. More input on snails. Dan Slee's given us the questions, and he's doing quite well. JJLB says, what are those red and white things blowing around in the tube? That is my floating media filtration that is ran by an air pump, and those are cut up 1-inch multicolored straws. How do you like that? That filter has been running for 3.5 years. And it's straws, Nola Jane says. Yes. And at different times, at the top of the bottle, it might be a little brownish on the camera, because it is. It's got old, decayed bacteria in there. And when the rotation changes, it is rotating those straws, and they're bumping up against each other, kind of like the K1 biomedia material, even though it does not have as much surface area that the K1, whatever that stuff's called. Inside the straw is usually beneficial bacteria. And then on the outside, a lot of times you can't see the beneficial bacteria. Gerardo's in here. Hey, Gerardo. How you doing? Hi, Gerardo. How you doing tonight? Tonight we're talking about snails. I'm a snail nerd, trying not to spam the chat. No, Dan, I'm enjoying it. I just needed someone to help take the lead. Gerardo, also tonight, there is a button above me, which is called a card, and it looks like an eye. So if you click on that, there's a question for you to answer, and if you will vote tonight, it will help us know who's in favor of snails and who's not in favor of snails and who's indifferent with snails. Oh, wow, I heard about the DIY. I wanted to make one. There's different ways to make them, too. This one is just the biological, Yeah, this is just the biological filter. But if you want mechanical, you put a sponge at the bottom and then you run the air hose through the sponge up into the bottle. This one doesn't have a sponge at the bottom for the mechanical. And, you know, you have mechanical filtration, you have biofiltration, and you have chemical filtration. Full Moon says, your tanks are really developing nicely since you started your channel. Michelle says, your dedication's paying off. Thank you. Actually, they will cycle themselves. There's very little that I've done. You know, this 29 was dubbed my tank of death, mainly because of my human errors. And if I can get off the subject of snails for right now, the human errors that I did with that 29, I was so excited about getting that 29 gallon for $29 at the dollar per gallon sale. And I had the 5 angelfish babies that I was growing out, and they were in a tub, so I had to take them from the tub to put them into a larger aquarium so that they could grow out, right? I also had a 10-gallon tank that was colonizing my blue-green Moscow guppies that I got from King Lee, and it was getting overpopulated. So I did a no-no. I set that tank up really fast. I seeded it with some polyfill from another filter. I put Eco-Complete substrate in there, and I started putting my plants in there. I put driftwood in there. I put everything that I could in there that had some beneficial bacteria on it, and I was hoping that it would cycle fast, right? Well, you can't rush nature. You really can't. Even though you can cycle a tank within, you know, a few hours with seeded material, it depends on how much livestock that you put in there. Well, I got antsy. I put those 5 angelfish fry in there that were about a dime size. You know, they were about, you know, the tip of my finger when I put them in there. And I'm like, oh, that's not much bioload. I added that colony of blue-green Moscows in there. No. Beginner's mistake. That tank started crashing. The next thing I know, guppies were dying. I lost an angelfish. My mystery snails died. All of my snails were dying. And that's why I dubbed it. And believe me, the algae was on all 4 walls, a 1/4 inch thick. So, learn from mistakes and do not add stock to your aquariums too fast. Even in an established tank, don't add more than what the bio load can handle. And just learn from our mistakes and don't do it again. All right, so I diverse. Back to the snails. We got Fish Rish in here. Where? Oh, that's Nola. Nola. I love snails, Gerardo says, and I have bladder pond and ram's horn. Ooh, how big do your bladder pond snails get in the aquarium? Because I had one that was about 1.25 inches long and then it died. But it laid eggs. Did you know most nearite snails aren't actually nearites? No, Dan. Why is that? Let us know, please. For the newcomers, there is a card at the top of the screen. Click on that and vote tonight. Thank you very much. I'm so excited. This has been such a successful stay on track stream. It's something that I've really worked hard on, and I can't wait. There is a fish boxing video, how to box your fish, why, legalities, one fish at a time, mass fish at a time. So look for that video coming out. Don't know if I'm going to make it this week. I have really a busy schedule with my son. No, I didn't, Dan. It became a marketing term to cover all the brackish saltwater snails that can survive in freshwater and eat algae and can't reproduce. Huh, interesting. Daniel's Fish Keeping. Hey, Daniel. We're talking about snails tonight. So at the card at the top, please click on it and cast your vote. Michelle at Full Moon Aquatics says, Susan, you're learning and sharing your journey to help us. I appreciate you. Isn't she awesome, Fish Fam? You're going to make me blush. Love you, sweetheart. DFK, what up? I'm in Indiana, the USA. Cool beans. And what's in Indiana? Not Nola Jane Fish Rich. Everybody saying hi. And I'm in Indiana also, Nola. JJLB says, cool beans. Fish keeping Jamaica, cool fish rich. What is your favorite part of fish keeping? Everybody is saying good evening, Daniel says. We were over here looking at the 29, and I was discussing why I don't have algae anymore. The duckweed has overgrown at the top, which blocks the lumens on the light. That is a 10,000 lumen light that I got from my son-in-law that also has a blue light on it that I don't even use anymore because Dwayne Kitchell told me to be careful of green algae, blue-green algae, I believe. So anyway, my tank is cycled now. The Java moss has taken off. Those crypts up front, oh my goodness, I am so pleased with them. I even washed this EcoComplete out and it's still nourishing my plants. All the beautiful freshwater fishies. Want to help Susan out with the channel? Even a few dollars helps, Daryl Deemer says. Daryl Deemer, I tell you, send me an email at score48@yahoo.com. I would really like to bless you. So for nearite snails, not all are created equal in terms of the job they do. Thank you, Dan. Gerardo, 88% good. Thank you so much. It is 10 to 7. We got 10 more minutes. If there's any more questions about snails tonight, now's the time to shoot those questions. I'm going to take a few minutes and show you guys some of the other tanks. I really had to do some work in my 55. So everybody saw the little video clip of the American greens. That colony's growing out really well, but I'm still looking for a 20-gallon tank. This is the 55. Sorry for the glare. That's from the 29-gallon. That's how I'm late. Helped my buddy move house, then fell asleep in the bath. When I got home, just woke up to 30 freezing. Sorry, Dan. God bless you, man. Get you some rest. Donald at Aquatic Express says, question, will Corydoras eat snails? I've recently got a few and just wanted to be prepared for the future. I've never seen corridors eat snails in my tanks. Anybody else answer that question for him? But I really like fancy goldfish, but I don't have any tanks big enough for them. Michelle says, I had a bad Malaysian trumpet snail outbreak. Learned to gather and share with others. But I was having a hard time keeping up and got a few assassin snails. Good. Sometimes we have to help our ecosystems out, don't we, sweetheart? Shelby Ray Lane. Hey, Shelby, how you doing? Hey, Shelby, good to have you in the house tonight. 10 more minutes on the stream and we'll be off. But good to have you with us. We're talking about snails tonight, Shelby, and up above me is a card. If you'll click on that and vote tonight, it will help us know how everybody feels about snails, good, bad, or indifferent. Fish Keeping Jamaica, Daniel, how cool Susan looks. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hustle Woman, you need a 20-gallon tank. Yes, I do, sweetheart. You got one? I don't want to pay full money. I want a bargain. I want a bargain, okay? What is your favorite snail? Gerardo's asking. I love the mystery snail, but the mystery snails have had a problem in my tanks, and until I find out what the issue is, I'm not buying any more or receiving any more. Now, Sherry at Sherry's Fishroom, she'll provide me with any mystery snails that I want. So once I contact her, I might just try them again and see what happens now that my tanks are doing much better. Dan Slee says, full moon, pond bladder, MTS can get out of control quick, ram's horns much slower. Okay. No, they will not. Gerardo says they will not eat snails. Thank you, Gerardo. Daniel, keeping fish. Keeping fish. Haha, Raleigh. Susan always looks great. A fine lady live stream presenter. You guys and Michelle, y'all just get me all blushy. Angelo. Hey, Angelo. How you doing? How you doing, young man? I voted. Did you? Not Nola Jane Fish. Yes, up above me right here is a card. Click on that card and make your vote tonight about snails. We're talking snails. The good, the bad, the ugly. Very beautiful tank, Susan. Also, don't forget my special guest Thursday night will be Rob of DeFreeze Aquariums, 6 o'clock p.m. Central, Thursday night. And we're going to have a great stream. We might even go 2 hours instead of 1. So y'all just hang in there, bring your questions, and if you want to shoot any to me during anonymously, shoot them to my email down here, right here, score48@yahoo.com. Shoot your questions that you have to ask me and Rob DeFreeze from DeFreeze Aquariums on Thursday night. Okay? Appreciate it. Apple snail, Gerardo says. I've never had an apple snail. I know, Sheila at Life with Pets had apple snails, I think. Michelle says, so now that the assassins are taking over, time to learn a new strategy. I need to control their population and share them and be more vigilant with their population in the future. Michelle? You need to advertise and let people know that you have them available, how much you're going to charge, and then start shipping them out to other fish keepers. Find a local fish store. Dan says, I can't remember, do you have hard or soft tap water you use in your tanks? It usually comes out hard. I haven't tested it lately because they do different things, but in our area we're known to have hard water. But I haven't tested the pH lately, to be honest, and I will give a more accurate account later. And when I have a pause this week, maybe I can do a water test to let you know what my tap water's doing, okay? Thank you, Dan. Hit me up and remind me, all right? Because I do get busy and forget. Angelo's fish tank's little man just fell asleep, felt like laying with him, so we both together in bed right now. Go ahead, Angelo, take that nap whenever you can. Our children are a heritage that we leave behind. They're, you know, there's no price that you can put on a child. Eat up every moment that you can. Daniel says, I don't think the vote card is coming up correctly on my phone. Want to support, but think I'm not going to be able. I'm afraid. Oh, let me see, Daniel. Let me go over to mine. I have an iPhone, Daniel. Pause. I'm sorry, I'm playing with you guys. All right, let's see. Go over to mine. Yeah. It's iPhone, Daniel. It's over the chat. It's over the chat. How's that? Y'all still hear me? Okay. It's over the chat, following the mouse. It's about in this area right in here. It'll come down on my phone. So try it again, Daniel. I asked because rabbit snails are from hard water lakes. Okay. Do you have some you want to send to me? Fish Fam Swap is real. If you didn't see that video, it's in my video collection below. Shelby Ray says, I'm going to have to vote when I get home to the laptop. I can't do it on my phone. Ah, look at me. Can't do it on the phone. For some reason, it won't open on my phone. Okay, I'm so sorry. So maybe Daniel's having the same problem. That is so true. Dan Slee, the Malaysian snails are plant hitchhikers. And I have learned to embrace snails, Michelle said, learning a lot from them and enjoying and sharing them. And another thing that we haven't discussed tonight, if you do not want to introduce any more snails to your aquarium on plants, do plant dips before you put those plants in your aquariums. The plant dips, there's different formulas out there. There's a bleach dip, and there is a peroxide dip. There's an alum dip that is really very kind to your plant, but it will kill snail eggs and parasites. And I will research that. I have a friend who does the alum dips, and Kyle's Wild World he told me about the bleach dip, and he told me about the peroxide dip. The peroxide dip, you can leave your plants in longer. The bleach dip, I think, is like 15 seconds, and then you better get them out before you start burning your plant. So different ideas like that. It works for me on the iPhone, Angelo says. Mine too. Sorry, Daniel and Shelby. Just tap the screen. The iCard pops up as I. Click it to vote. Thank you, Nola Jane. Hit the I on the iPhone. Thank you, everyone. Dan Slee says to Full Moon Aquatics, totally agree. I just try to be very careful with pond bladder and Malaysian trumpet snails. I keep mostly invert tanks and feed on purpose so things can go south fast. Yeah, you have to watch your water perimeters. Donald at Aquatic Express says, Susan, before the chat ends, do you mind telling me your process on breeding your Corydoras? They do it naturally. I don't do anything about it. If they're not breeding in a while, I will start feeding them frozen bloodworms frozen brine shrimp, more, I guess, weekly water changes, Donald, with cooler, like sometimes 5 to 10 degrees cooler than the water that's in the tank. That usually spurs them to spawn. But to condition them, I would condition them a couple weeks with good foods, bloodworms, frozen bloodworms, frozen or live. I don't do live worms because I don't like live worms. So I do frozen bloodworms and frozen, I'm sorry, new babies in the tank being chased by bigger fish. So that's how I do it, Donald. And nature takes its course. Have lots of hiding places, and I know you've got artificial and live plants, so they'll do fine. The temperature sometimes affects them too. Like I said, the water change temperature 5 to 10 degrees cooler. So if you're keeping your tank at 75, your water change should be around 70. I wouldn't go much lower. Excuse me. All right. Yeah, y'all can vote later. It's all right. Thank you. 16 watching, 14 likes. Can we get 2 more? Yeah, I'd like to have 100% tonight, guys. That would be sweet. I'd never had that, I don't think. Ah, info button. Thank you. Voted. Great. Thanks, guys, for the help. Full Moon Aquatics. Yes, Susan. I use potassium permanganate to dip plants. Okay, I haven't even heard that one, Michelle. Shelby says, info button does not open on my phone. I've tried. Bummer. Sometimes it is a problem. Thank you, though. Hope you get it worked out. Those that can vote, I appreciate it. To vote, tap the picture with Susan, and there is a white circle. I tap in that. Thank you. I have an Android phone. Got it. Had to double tap. Oh, but I got it and voted. Thank you. See, we're solving problems and learning. I love it. It doesn't always have to be about fish, but it has to be about fish in the end. Yolanda, PMG, Hustle Woman Aquatics, I have and is enjoying myself this evening, praying everyone have a great night. Thank you, Yolanda. Thursday morning, the Lord willing, I will put 2 girls in the mail for you, okay? Donald, I hope that answered your question. Michelle, thank you, Dan. I'm Android, Daniel said. I tapped my screen, then the We Info button popped up. Guppy babies? Yes, Gerardo. Yes, guppy babies. Good night, Yolanda. And no problem, full moon. Well, everybody, it's 7:05. I thank you so much for the live stream tonight. Y'all have really been a great interactive audience. I hope y'all will click the like button that they have not, and will share this even after it posts. I do appreciate you. I love you. Look for me Thursday night, 6 p.m. with a very special guest, Rob of DeFreeze Aquariums. Fish Fan Mom, I love you.